This is not a New York Yankees sweatshirt. This is a J. Cruz sweatshirt, and it just happens to have maybe the same font as the Yankees. I'm not sure.
And same colors.
Yeah, but they could not, the Yankees would sue them. The Yankees would go after them. It's just a New York sweatshirt, and I'm wearing it because of the amazing things that happened last night for all of us as New York baseball fans, as both of our teams did two things or three things or even four things that were amazing. It all started in Milwaukee, and it all started with Pete Alonso hitting a bomb, a 3-run bomb. Then the next inning, Francisco Lindor comes back and hits a grand slam. You're saying, oh, my God, this is unbelievable. Then you turn it over to the Yankees. The Yankees are down 8-4, as we all know, and they're in the bottom of the ninth. And the leadoff batter just happens to be a 6'7" giant man, a monster, if you will, who, as David Cohn and Paul O'Neill were gushing over last night, how he goes about his business. And they should have been gushing over it. So I agree with them 100%. He hits the home run. It's the 60th. The Maris family's there. The boys are there. It's a great scene. But Aaron Judge is happy, but he's not really happy because, as Michael Kay was saying, I'll give Michael Kay some credit, team was losing.
Yeah, he said he didn't even want to come out for the curtain call. He felt awkward because they were losing at that point.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But what that did to that dugout, it was obvious. Because now it's boom, 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 boom. And then a guy who hasn't had a hit in seems like 3 months gets up there and hits another, he hits a grand slam. So we had 2 grand slams by 2 stars last night that have been the subject of boos. Now for Lindor, not this year as much as last year. But Giancarlo is going back into that, that deep cavern that is known as like the lost soul of baseball. But it all happened like one right after the next. And it was amazing. It was amazing. So when I woke up this morning, I said, you know what?
I'm going to put on my Yankee sweatshirt.
No. I'm going to dust off my New York sweatshirt. Okay. And I'm just going to be a proud New Yorker this morning because of what we witnessed last night. 2 improbable victories. And, and of course, Gary and Keith, what are they discussing? They're discussing the Braves and, oh, my God, the Nationals, Braves. Screw the Braves. I'm worried about the Mets just win. And these are special moments, as we all know. This is what we talk about. The Mets and the Yankees have had a ton of those special moments. And by the way, Harrison Bader was in the field last night. Aroldis Chapman came back last night. The middle relieving for both teams wasn't all that great. But Edwin Diaz was throwing gas last night. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, 102 miles an hour to strike out Andrew McCutchen to end the game. Incredible.
I'm going to sit here this morning, and I am going to bask in the enjoyment because I got no sleep, because you can't sleep after that.
I know. The athlete in you.
Sleep after that.
The athlete in you cannot go to bed because you feel like you were out there on the field with the fellas, and you just can't shut it off.
I felt like going out to have some cocktails last night, honestly. I almost got out of bed and went to go have some cocktails.
10:30 last night.
Let's go party, boys, and I'll show up. And, I got to tell you, with the Jets and the Giants winning this weekend, right, with Aaron Judge hitting number 60, and now all of a sudden it becomes a reality that he'll hit 61 somewhere before Friday, hopefully.
Well, let's hope because that Apple TV.
You want the announcers that have called the games all year long to be able to call these home runs.
Well, I guess MLB Network's going to on Friday come into the game and show it on MLB Network, even when it's on Apple TV, which to me, if I was an Apple TV, it's good for the fans. But if I was an Apple TV executive, I'd be like, what are you doing? So you're screwing me here.
All right. So this is the other thing, too, since we're talking a little bit about TV and how things go. And I know this happened to all of us on Monday night during the Monday night doubleheader. And I know in particular it happened for the fans of the said teams that were playing this night. So the Bills are hosting the Titans. So they don't want to see the Eagles and the Vikings on half their screen.
Yeah.
They don't want to see that. Don't do that. And I saw somebody on Twitter had a great idea that, ESPN2 has a platform. If you want to have split screens, so somebody out there who wants to watch 2 games at one time and that doesn't have 2 TVs, put it on ESPN2.
Sure.
Put that on ESPN2. And I thought that was a great idea. And then just let the fans, the Vikings and the Eagles watch the Vikings and the Eagles.
That's right.
They don't want to watch the Bills and the Titans at the same time, split screen. See, this is like where people decide to make decisions and those decisions are asinine. And I don't know if this was ESPN on purpose. I do know that the NFL is pushing for more updates and all this other stuff.
You need to take a breath. You're all over the place. I don't know how we got the split screens on ESPN to put your earpiece in.
I know.
Take a breath.
Yes.
Get them a couple of Oreos, and let's get back on track. All right? I don't know how this happened.
You know why?
It's about Aaron Judge.
You said Apple TV and MLB on
because
Friday
we're
night.
talking about Aaron Judge breaking the record.
But
That's
I just said, I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay, very good.
I'm back into baseball mode right now.
Right, that sounds great. I really don't want. I know Eddie roots for these things to happen. He wants to see it on Apple TV Plus. He wants them to tie and break the record on Apple TV Plus so nobody sees it. I am not that person. I want the Yankee fan who's been invested in this the entire year not to have to worry about it if they can't stream it. And this really is. I mean, I was much younger. We all were, but in 1998, I was in high school. I was 16 years old, and seeing Mark McGwire do this and Sammy Sosa do this, it was like, oh my God! And I was not thinking steroids. Here I am at 40 watching this season, and I still feel like I did, back when I was 16, in awe of this, saying, how in the hell is this guy doing this so consistently in a walk year for the Yankees with all the pressure that's on? I can't even imagine. He steps up into the box. They got to change the baseballs. Everybody stands up. Everybody's got their cell phone out, just like this. And he's still as cool, calm, and collected as he's ever been. He is just such a special individual that will win the MVP and might win a Triple Crown this year in a walk year, no less. It's just amazing.
It's going to be amazing how much the Giants are going to pay him.
Number keeps going up.
But here's the thing. Like right now, every game is going to be sold out. They're normally packed anyway at Yankee Stadium, but every game's going to be sold out. Every kid's going to want a 99 jersey. Do you know how much money the Yankees are making and how much money the teams that he is visiting are going to make because he is chasing history?
Yeah.
Clean history. We have to remind ourselves that because that's what Rizzo said. Even Rizzo in the dugout, because he speaks for the players. They all talk. It's not like he's out there as the spokesperson, but I think when he says, look, we all know what's going on here, and we know it's clean. And the players know it. Now, I don't know about Barry Bonds' group and Mark McGwire's group and Sammy Sosa's group, but all I could tell you, the far majority of people, and now because this is a Yankee and he's, tied with, Babe Ruth and he's chasing Roger Maris, now all of a sudden it's going to be the record in the eyes of the Yankee fans.
Oh, of course.
And I think, and the purist baseball fan too. I think even if you hate the Yankees like Eddie does, Eddie hates the Yankees.
Yeah.
And you would think with his money management team and everything that he would love the Yankees because that's right up the alley of the money management team.
Yeah, true.
But Eddie, even you have to respect Aaron Judge as an athlete.
Oh yeah, he's hard to hate.
I'll tell you what's pathetic is what that kid got back for that baseball. That was pathetic.
What, last night?
Yes. Just a joke. Now, this kid's 20 years old, and he doesn't know better, and he's excited, and someone from the Yankees comes up to him. He's there with 3 buddies from college. I'm sure he got wrapped up in the moment, and people are going to say, how admirable was it for him to say Aaron Judge should have the ball back?
You're being a fool.
But all they got was a picture, a couple signed baseballs, and something else, some other memorabilia. That's all they got back. But this was an opportunity missed for him, and I feel like he was taken advantage of.
60.
Well, that's why you're a client.
But people's all right. So Darren Ravel is like, say what you want about
we know Darren.
He basically said that that value of that ball is somewhere between $50,000 and $500,000. But he says probably around $150,000. You're 20 years old. You put that up for auction, and you can stash away $150,000 after taxes, whatever, away for your life because you got that baseball, and you want to give it to Aaron Judge so you can get a picture signed? Oh, my God.
All right, how do we not know that this kid's not a trust fund baby? Maybe he's a trust fund baby. Maybe he's got
then take the money and give it to a charity. Don't get a freaking picture with Aaron Judge and leave that ballpark. It's ridiculous.
The other thing about this kid, maybe he's been a Yankee fan since he was born because his family made him into a Yankee fan.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
No, it
Yes,
doesn't.
it
it's
does.
a terrible decision.
You're a fool.
Maybe
It's
he has
a
good
terrible
parents.
decision.
Maybe he has good parents.
What do you mean? What does that have to do with good
My
parents and
kids-
not good parents? You keep that ball and you put up for auction. That's a smart thing to do. It's not being a jerk. It's
I know.
just a smart thing to do.
I know my kids wouldn't have sold the ball. They would have given it to Aaron Judge. I know that for a fact. You know how I know that?
Okay, how do you know that?
Sydney was a really good lacrosse and soccer player.
Yeah.
And after her sophomore year in high school, she came to me and she said, Dad, I'm not going to be playing in college on a scholarship. I was like, really? What are we doing this for then?
Yeah, all right. Take her out of the game.
No, but the point being is that she ended up going to BC and I ended up paying for it, which is fine. That's my responsibility. It's all good. And she played and she won a national championship on the club lacrosse team, which was great too. Mm-hmm. And it was all about the experience. But the point being is that it's not about money for a lot of people. For some people it is. For other people, it's not.
I mean, you are just out of your mind with that statement. It's not about money for a lot of people. This kid is going to look back at one point when he's got a couple of kids and he's got the bills out his ass, and he's going to be going, man, I could have had $200,000 in my pocket, in my bank account for putting a baseball up for auction. Instead, I got this lousy autograph that's getting faded and dusty on my mantle. I mean, it's just silly. I'm sorry. It's silly.
I don't know. Maybe the guy's like Eddie and he's a communist. Who knows?
I don't think so. I think what happened was
Communist with a financial group around you.
I just think
make sense.
I think what happened was he got overwhelmed in the moment. It's like, oh my goodness, I could beat Aaron Judge. He's a young kid. And I just feel like in that situation, you get taken advantage of. You know that there was Yankees brass behind the scenes after they got that ball back. They're like, we just got away with murder. Oh my God.
Hey, Al,
Can you believe this?
Al, get that kid on this morning.
He doesn't. But by the way, he was interviewed. He said like 5 words. He was asked 15 questions. He said 5 words. So if you find him and you get him on, his name's Michael Kessler. If you find him and you get him on, he was like, "Hey, how'd you get the ball? Oh, I caught it.
He caught it or he dived for it?
I got it. I just was able to grab it."
It looks like people were down he was on the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, he said that he just grabbed it and then moved to the side. So I don't know what happened, but yeah, that was the scrum for
Animals.
it. Yeah, well,
And then you see the guy out in left field.
you put a briefcase of $150,000 out there. That's what people are going to do too.
The guy out in left field who caught Stanton's ball. Caught it.
He actually caught 118 miles an hour. He had his
with the
glove and he
yes.
caught it.
That's great.
It's amazing.
Is that ball worth anything?
No, probably
No, okay.
not. No, probably not. Maybe $100 here or there.
I got to tell you, man. Come on. When you were coming into work today, weren't you like
No,
jacked?
I was. No, I absolutely was. Especially with listen, all due respect to the Judge and the Yankees, I was worried last night that they were going to have another situation with the Braves. They never lose, and the Mets were down.
Mets don't lose either.
They looked sleepy early on in the game, and that comeback was absolutely awesome. So, yes, I mean, the Mets are 40 games above 500 right now, and we're still worried about the division. It drives me nuts.
Well, don't worry. They're playing great, man.
I know they are playing great.
They're playing.
and they're on a winning streak.
Both teams have got their mojo back right now.
Yeah,
don't you think?
Right at the right time, man.
I mean, I know they split with the Brewers. Yankees did, but they're starting to get players back, and Bader had an immediate impact.
He did.
Brian Cashman is a genius.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.